I will tell you something that's going on that I'm going to be covering this week,
Hmm.
which is we know all about the story about my buddy Dinesh Nishirvan.
Hmm.
And Dinesh Nishirvan is the TikToker. He's
Hmm.
doxed the Supreme Court of the United States,
Hmm.
and he's engaged in litigation right now in Southwest Florida
Hmm.
against Jennifer Couture and Dr. Ralph Garamond, who is a
Hmm.
plastic surgeon down here. And something very, very hilarious kind of has happened on the docket sheet in the Middle District of Florida.
Hmm.
Nick Chiappetta, who's the attorney for Dinesh Nishirvan, served a bunch of subpoenas on Google
Hmm.
asking for information about email accounts linked to a mysterious internet character named Joey Camp. Now,
Hmm.
Joey Camp was called to be a Nazi, a racist, one of these really bad people by Dinesh Nashirvan.
Hmm.
And he was connected by Dinesh, or the allegation was he was connected to the Dr. Garamone and Jen Couture, and
Hmm.
that he was doing all sorts of terrible things.
Hmm.
Well, they put in the motion with Google, and in response to that motion, for the subpoena, a motion to quash was filed, and not just one motion to quash, but I think as of my latest count, five different motions to quash have been filed by different John Doe characters. We don't know who they are. They haven't identified themselves, but they have gone off the rails. When I tell you, one of them is a motion that says Joey Camp is not a racist, and it has pictures of him going around Panama with his black girlfriend, kissing her at different places in Panama and Mexico and everything else. And it's gotten to the point where this case has gotten beyond a circus, it's beyond comical.
All right, hold on. I have a question.
Yes.
Which story has better and more interesting characters, Ganesh or Jayanon?
Uh, yeah, it's a toss up here. You know, it's a different kind of story. It really is a different kind of
But the
story.
characters, the
the,
more
the
like
characters are
bizarre.
pretty. Yeah, they're both. I think Jayanon and Dinesh are both of the same type of person, where they're both terrible narcissists that think they're right 100% of the time, and
Right.
so that's fueling a lot of both of the stories.
Hmm.
But this whole Joey Camp thing, this Joey Camp guy, he was on a court stream a few months ago, and
Hmm.
he came on
Now,
as a
if I remember correctly, didn't Dinesh like link you and Joey Camp? Is that right?
he tried to link me and Joey Camp, and I'm a reporter. I've talked to Joey Camp as a source, and I've
Hmm.
talked to Joey Camp in furtherance of my journalism. I have no problem disclosing that I've talked to Joey Camp,
And you can disclose that.
I said that in my I've quoted him
Right.
in my articles.
Right. And
So
you can disclose that if he's a like a source you have quoted. If he is on background or deep background, that would be an ethical violation. So I'm assuming you
yeah,
quoted him.
I've quoted
Uh,
him before. Yeah.
right. Yeah. Correct. Okay. Go ahead.
And so
Uh,
Joey Camp, and so this is he's the boogeyman behind every tree in this case, and the case has gotten out of control. It really has it to the point where it's becoming laughable how the court has lost all semblance of control over this case by entertaining the crazy ramblings of Dinesh Nishirvan, which is very close to the crazy ramblings of Jayanon, the
mhm,
crazy type of lawsuit.
mhm,
Basically, they said that they were trying to go after Dinesh's kids. He's trying to say that this doctor and his wife tried to threaten his kids, and then they called them swingers, and they called them this, and they called them
mhm,
that. And we're finding out a lot of it's true, and we're finding out from reports that him and his wife are mentally imbalanced. They're
mhm,
trying to they're trying to prove that they were caused emotional distress, and
mhm.
then they submit reports, and the reports show that they're all mentally ill.
Right.
So yeah, you're all
Right.
mentally ill, and you have little kids with you. It's not a good look.
Right.